Hey guys, I just wanted to give my own personal opinion about how Bless Online has launched and how it's proceeding as a game right now. First of all, I'll put it out there. Bless Online as it is right now is a bad game. There's a few redeeming qualities it has at the moment, but for the most part, it is a bad game. I would not recommend buying it unless you are interested in early access games like this and are willing to deal with the multitude of problems the game has. It runs relatively well if you mess with the INI files and tweak it to your own settings. But for the average Joe who wants to say just hop into a good MMO and have a good time, no, absolutely not. Do not buy this. Not right now. It's not good. But I think we've had an overreaction as what we're used to. This is an early access game, and to those, there's going to be a lot of people who get really mad that I just said that. But to those who are mad or upset that I said that, it is an early access. The devs that said it, yeah, they've had 8 years to try to fix it, but we don't really understand what happened in those 8 years. And I know there's more content in the game that's not in our version, but was in the Russian and Japanese version of the game. But I'm thinking the reason for this, why we've gone to a clean launch of just the base of the game, is because they've, from what I've researched, they have had optimization patches before with the other versions of the game, and they weren't good. They were supposed to fix some issues and they didn't. And I'm thinking why they did that is because they're gonna go back, patch the patch files into a second patch, then put it into the game because it wouldn't make much sense for you to upload patches into the game and have to go back and fix them anyway because they're busted. I think another reason that this game has gotten such bad publicity is all video streaming or recording software for this game runs like ass. There's This video clip that I'm showing right now is when OBS decided to be nice to me and let me record for a good 20 some minutes before my connection went down because it was, I don't know, too much for it to handle or it just wasn't working. But whenever I try to stream or run OBS with Bless Online, it does end up either A, crashing my connection, or B, it closes the client because it says connection not found, which I don't understand the reasoning for that. I've tried doing my own research as to why that is. It doesn't seem like there's any reasonable response at the moment. The dev responses to all the outrage and upset customers they've had has been pretty good. I'd give them an A. They've refunded everybody who bought the game. They've given people who are currently playing compensation for this mess. And the apology from the producer and executive developer seems legitimate to me anyway. Do I think Bless is a giant cash grab? Debatable. That remains to be seen. Do I think they could have tried to fix this a little bit more before they dropped it on us? Yeah, definitely. In the early access notes on the Steam page, it says although Bless is in early access, it's not going to really launch for another year. The 2 days we got were the head start to the early access, which I did not understand. But after compensation and everything, I only ended up paying 15 bucks for this game. It's it's all right. There's For a $15 game, this is great, but for a $40 game, no, this is bad. Um, the reason I'm putting up with Bless anyway is because Bless seems like a game that could be really cool. There's a lot of potential here. I mean, a lot of it. The game's completely open world. The graphics are, they're outdated, but I think with tweaking, it could still look fine. And graphics have never been super big on my reasons to play a game thing in a long time. I'm more obsessed with gameplay. Combat wise, Bless is good. I think it's okay. There's some broken abilities. Mages are completely busted at the time of recording. Paladins can, you can see what I'm doing on screen right now. I can stun lock and knock back everything into oblivion and not let them touch me. Rangers are so weak right now that they can't solo anything, even the solo duties. And they just buffed enemy resistance to damage, so some quests are like undoable right now, especially at the low levels. This was recorded a few days before that happened. The other reason I'm putting up with Bless is because I see a lot of similarities to another MMO I played for a very long time and I loved, Final Fantasy XIV 1.0. This game is taking the opposite route that FFXIV took, and that's to not take the game down and rebuild it from the ground up, and instead to patch, tweak, and work with the system that they are doing now. I mean, let's be honest. Bless Online uses failed systems. It failed in KR, it failed in Japan, it failed in Russia, from what I understand anyway. I know it's failed at least twice, but I I think they're working with it enough to a point where it's tolerable. I don't have to grind very long to do anything in this game. I'm not one of those people that ended up running the dungeon over and over and over to get my XP. Instead, I ended up, as you can see in the footage, doing the episode side quests, which force you to run around the world, slay mobs, collect stuff, do objectives, which it made the world feel alive. I think the point I thought Bless isn't as bad of a game as everyone made it out to be was around. It was after recording this. It was another level or two after this when I headed to the Kingdom of Florin to go to the monastery, and on the road an episode banner popped up, and it was a side quest. So I thought, oh, there's a side quest here, and it just featured a bunch of bandits attacking me, and I was like, I'm just walking to Florin. Why did these guys attack me? And then I realized that this is their attempt at Fates from FFXIV or Guild Wars 2 Living World, and I was like, okay, that's really cool. And I was like, it's okay. But then I had other players come toward me and try to help me, which my mind was blown because I thought it was an instance, because so far every episode side quest I played like that throws you into your own little instance within the world. And I mean that like it throws you into an instance. You can still see all the other players, but the other players can't see what you're doing. They can still see you, but it just looks like you're running around doing nothing. The the last two reasons, I'll go through them real quick, that I'm gonna put up with Bless for a while longer, is the devs seem to be listening to people right now anyway. It seems like they have some semblance of communication with the community, especially with the emissary program, which, if you don't know, the emissary program is just them allowing streamers and YouTubers to stream their game, and they have input with how the game should be run and how it should play and all that cool stuff. The second is the community. Now, the community right now, still to an extent, is people saying the game's bad, this is awful, I want a refund. But I see people who are making guilds, who are leveling, gathering, and crafting, who are max level, who are willing to put up with this right now, and want the game to succeed. I see a second coming of the 1.0 player base that I played with until 1.0 got taken down for those 2 years and we got FFXIV 2.0. If so, going forward, I think Bless might be a really cool MMO when it actually launches and gets out of early access. Right now, it's From what I've seen, Bless launched, well, the early access did okay at launch. They've made a profit, which is a good thing, I think, if they're willing to put that money back into the game and this isn't some giant cash grab. I'm still on the fence about that, but I'm really excited to see what they do. And if it turns out that Bless is this really cool MMO and my feedback was heard and appreciated and they used that and incorporated it into the game to some extent, I'm gonna be really happy, and I will probably end up continuing to support Bless. This game is like the anti FFXIV that I play all the time. It's a completely open world. Guilds and I almost said FCs because I'm so used to FFXIV. They actually have an impact. You can declare war on other guilds. It feels kind of like old school WoW, but better. Okay, the graphics, whatever. The gameplay, I'll give two thumbs up as soon as they fix all the optimization issues and make it so it doesn't use up all my bandwidth and cause my connection to explode on my Wi-Fi card. But I'm very much looking forward to seeing where this game goes, and I'm willing to say right now I hope to see it succeed. If that should change in the coming days, I'll probably upload something saying kill Blast, let it die, whatever. But yeah, thank you for listening to my useless opinion about an MMO that I play in my free time. And I hope that you, for those of you who have refunded Bless, you end up either giving it another chance eventually one day. Some of you don't bother rebuying it right now, or you at least watch it as it moves forward. We need to learn something from this, I feel like, anyway.